Hello everyone and welcome back to another Scion Custom Races video. Now this one's going to be another build order video, but this time I'm going to be doing a build order for the Xayid. I have played a bit more of this race since, like, over the weeks, and I think I have got a pretty good build for this one. I'm more confident about this build for Xayid than I even am with current. Current build seems a bit weird, but you know, bit more unique. But yeah, so I'm gonna hop right into this game. We're just gonna be going against the lead AI. And yeah, the build doesn't go really past, like, once the first text structure comes down. From that point, it's just going to be pure, you know, wing it. Do whatever you want, essentially. Whatever you feel like, whatever you're planning to do in the game. Also depends on what depends on what race you're facing as well. Now, I'm not too certain if this build would be any good against Zerg, because you do have to wall off against Zerg. I saw actually PDF had a build that might be alright.
If you want win,
which is what he used to use. I told him it was really bad, except maybe against Zerg, because it was pretty good for
you need more
off.
minerals.
But yes, anyway, so start is pretty self-explanatory. We're going to build a feeding pool.
Minerals.
Once
Make
we
sure
get
your
money,
harvesters not gone for
make
the
sure we
coffee
don't get
break.
supply block like in any other
You
race.
have not enough minerals. Harvesters should work harder.
In this time, you might want to set up any camera hotkeys if you do that in your games. I would advise just taking a little bit of time to learn how to do that.
You need to extract
Then once this
additional
finishes,
supply.
also just going to build a Xayid den. I misplaced that a little bit, and then a gas.
You need more
Usually I
minerals.
want to put that one pixel, one grid square, further up so it doesn't block the gas button. This is going to block the gas button slightly. And yeah. Now, if you didn't know, feeding pools actually give a build rate increase and a production rate increase, and that does include the scavenger nest. I know a few people didn't actually know this, didn't actually realize that it included the scavenger nest, but it really does. This goes faster. This goes quite a fair bit faster, so you definitely want to be having that as much as possible.
You have not enough minerals. Harvesters should work harder.
Yeah, no, that's my bad. Getting used to this faster worker build time though, by the way, it's very slightly off. So it can take just a little bit to get used to that, actually.
Make sure your harvesters not gone for
and then once you have the money, so as soon as possible, really, after you have the money, get it muted in chamber. Then you want to also then make another Xayid den as quickly as possible. You can see right here our supply. If we don't get that, we're going to get supply blocked, especially with this faster build time that we get. Get supply just a little bit faster than you would normally expect. Kind of throws you slightly off. Once this is finished as well, we get the second gas straight after. Once this is finished, then we immediately make 3 roamers. Okay. Now these roamers are going to be for scouting.
You need more minerals.
Yeah. You're going to be using these roamers and their scour ability for scouting. That's very important. And then at this stage, you do then want to get your tech structure of choice. I get an avian nest in this. I've been finding the avian nest is not as bad as I previously thought after the Raptors got nerfed. It used to be pretty overpowered. But turns out Raptors are still pretty viable again, I think. Not that they're as overpowered as last time, but, you know, they're like Mutalisks, but slightly weaker, but a lot earlier. So, yeah, they can be alright. They can be pretty alright. Use them a little bit like Phoenixes or Mutants, really. Then at this stage, I usually get, before my third tech structure, Our forces are under attack. Sorry. I'd usually get your next Xayid den, or perhaps if you're going for like perhaps a more biomass hatchery focused style, it's kind of like Meg almost in a way, but for Xayid. Then you could perhaps just out of the biomass hatcheries instead. Now I'm going to send these little raptors across the other side of the map. Now your first feeding pool after that initial little kind of segment of the build is done, once you have your text structure of choice and all that. You really do want to put it on the low ground. Now the building increase does stack up to 3 times, but it's also obviously heals, so you definitely want that on the low ground to help defend your base a little bit more. You might go, well, why don't you put your second or your first one on the low ground? Well, that won't really help as much, because I think and play video games at the same time. But that won't really help as much, because that build time is especially helpful, but mainly because of the fact that your worker loses mining time, and this is already quite a tight build. You're already quite tight for money using this. That's right, I just forgot for a second, but yeah. Because this is quite a tight build, you don't really, you want to lose as little mining time as possible. Otherwise you you will get supply blocked sometime using this build.
We need more supply depot.
So yeah. Now another tip as well with these feeding pools is try build them in like strips of 3, because the Xayid building is a little bit unique in that sense. I really should, I'm not playing this well, I look how much more don't use this as a macro start, but just the opener. This bit's just more talking about how Xayid works. But yeah, the building placement's a little bit tricky, and it can get a little bit funny and hard to use, because you do always want to have these feeding pools right next to your production structures, and quite a lot of them as well. It's not like a single pylon for Protoss, where you just have a single pylon in quite a large area. No, this is three feeding pools for every kind of pylon that you almost have, so it's quite weird. So I generally find it more efficient placing them like this in rows of 3, or you can just continue building the row on and on and on, and then put them next to it, put your buildings next to it. Now you don't really have to worry about larvae. Now the cocoons, obviously they will block your building, but after they've done the larvae, it doesn't like get squished. Your units won't actually get stuck, unless perhaps it's on the corner of a scavenger nest, because those main buildings are a little weird with their hitboxes. So like, if you've noticed, so if I were to, it's a bit hard to explain, but yeah, there's like little gaps on the corners of these hitboxes here. Like,
this location,
if you build this here, this won't be a wall like in any other structure. That's not a wall. But yeah, anywhere else though, other than those corners, you won't have to worry about your larvae perhaps being trapped in between 2 structures. They'll just get themselves out, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, you can continue making as many raptors as you want. You don't need to make too many. I would, if they're going well, you could perhaps continue it just on and on and on, but then again, once you have a certain amount, you won't exactly be able to kill probes any faster. Like, as soon as probes are in your range and you have a certain amount of them, you won't really just be able to kill them any faster, because you're already killing them as soon as they're in sight, essentially, like workers or whatever. And these are still quite expensive. These are still like quite expensive to have so many that you're simply just able to snipe large buildings like a Nexus or a Gateway, or anything of the sort. So I wouldn't get all too many. Probably 12 to 16 or 12 to 18 is probably a good amount. It's honestly up to you. I haven't explored this enough that, for me, it's not clear enough yet to give a definitive answer as to,
Need to find a better place.
you know, how much is best, how much is, you know, too much or anything, and how they each work in every single matchup, to the extent where I will tell you this is how much you want. But yeah, it's honestly really depending on you so far how much, what you think is best for that.
This location is not good for rebuilding.
And the biomass hatcheries are pretty strong as well though. Always keep that in mind, you don't have to go ape mist. See the Protoss armies coming in. Now I'm probably building the wrong unit with this. Scorpius is actually probably the same unit for this. Because they're so tanky, they kind of work like Mutilating Bane in that sense. If you make like Scorpius with your what do you call them? Raptors.
Need to find a better place to build.
Yeah.
Mineral field.
Yeah. My play is not refined in this game at all.
Mineral field.
Don't think that this is optimal gaming. I'm just gonna
This location.
put a couple of these down. Probably. Yeah, actually another tip, which I forgot about, is that you can just build them with your feeding pools, because you always want to have three feeding pools per base. I probably should spread them around a bit more so they can kill the workers as well in any part of your force. But your
Mutation complete.
what was I saying? But yeah, because these stack up to 3 times to heal, to increase the scavenger nest worker build time. So you can simply just build some of your structures around it as well, especially if you're running out of room with the main build pool. This way as well, you potentially won't have the same problem as Terran does, where if an enemy gains control or like gets a foothold inside like your main base as a Terran, the game is almost ended for you, unless you're going into like a base race, because you can't produce anymore, you can't spend your money anymore all of a sudden. So even once you are max, I would still advise putting these feeding pools around your scavenger nest to increase those worker build speeds. It really does add up over time. It makes it very easy to remax, well at least not remax, but make a lot of workers again if you lose them all of a sudden, lose more than you want. I'm just building Scorpius Reviler with some Xayidlings. We're gonna attack when these 2 upgrades finish. In fact, I might start making way across the map now, and then I think we'll probably just win this game. It's only against the elite AI after all. Could probably put a couple bile pits. Yeah. These feeding pools as well. Even like against air harass as well, even they're just they're just really amazing, because they can make it so that your workers then all of a sudden now take 3 to 4 hits to die instead of like 2 safe. So Xayid's a lot better than open fight in open spaces. You see how flat these are. They're just really good. Quite funky, but they're very so,
Maximum army limit reaches. Time to fight.
But yeah, that will be it for today. Or at least for this video. My apologies for the last time I uploaded being so long ago at this point. But yeah, I might actually do a couple videos kind of talking about different compositions, not necessarily the matchups, but what are the benefits and the consequences, and then of each composition, or at least benefits for quite a few, or just unit choices in general, for basically all of the races, all of the custom. I shouldn't have to go into the standard one, so you should go yourself. Although then again, I don't know how standard races work against customers, so I guess the or at least, you know. Oh well. You guys can attack that. I'm just waiting for the AI to GG at this point. I know I can just leave because the best. It's a mental victory, you know? Having someone ring against you even though you might have already won the game.
You have reached the peak of unit production.
Scorpions have pretty good DPS. Reasonable, not like super high or anything. Actually, not as good as constructions, but yeah. Main reason was they're actually very fast. That was it.
Depleted.
There we go.
Mineral field.
The enemy fought well,
Okay.
but you played
I
better.
hope you enjoyed this build. I think we could add a custom victory screens as well. Thorsus said it's probably impossible as far as he knows. But maybe Zugzwing. At least Zugzwing has those little nice dancing videos at the end of his videos, eh? But yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you might also watch the next video too. See ya.